Okay, I just put these tights on. I love these.
Waisted pants, these are the new ones.
I'm a paid customer with Tally Lou. I am obsessed with their leggings.
It's Tully and Sarah, and if you don't know, we have an activewear brand called Tally Lou.
And we have Australia's favourite leggings, but not only do we have leggings,
We've got everything that you may need for an active lifestyle. So we want to give you guys an offer if you've never shopped at Tally Lou, or if you've shopped at Tally Lou
and you just want $15 off your next order,
you need to take this offer.
and it's TL Cherry, all caps, all one word. Pop that in at checkout and you will get $15 off.
So head to our website, it's www.tallyloo.com, or head to our Instagram, stalk our page, use the code, and let's get you all in some TL. Welcome to Curious Conversations. It's Tully and Sarah. Welcome to our business mini series where we sit down and talk real, raw, honest with some incredible business owners.
We're going beyond the highlight reel to talk about what it really takes to start a business from the ground up. The challenges, the wins, and the lessons that no one prepares you for.
Welcome to Curious Conversations with Tully and Sarah.
We sit down and chat with business owners, entrepreneurs, and some of the best conversation starters.
This is a podcast about real life lessons and people doing cool shit.
I've written a little intro in this because I don't want to miss anything. And if I do, please excuse me. Author, 40 under 40 most influential Australians, LinkedIn top voices, author, co-founder, founder, ex-tax lawyer. Lisa, have I missed anything?
No, I think that's kind of most of it. Yeah.
I know. You got to take a breath there.
Literally. You are a very impressive businesswoman.
I feel embarrassed. It's like just an illusion.
No way.
Why do you say that? Because I listened to a podcast and you said that you don't feel successful.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of what is your definition of success?
Yeah.
And so it is hard because, I think we were talking about this off air, and I think it's hard when you feel like you've got so much to achieve and you're probably not where you think you wanted to be or think you can be. And so we're just talking about how it's really hard at the moment with business. And so I think sometimes I do feel like, it is a bit of an illusion that you have to put out there because it's like, you don't want to, like when you're not doing as well as you think you should be doing, you don't want to necessarily go, I'm not doing well, because like people don't necessarily resonate well to that. And I think I'm from that generation where I don't share a lot online. I'm probably like quite a millennial in the sense that everything that is shared is quite, not to say filtered, but it is curated. Yeah, definitely. And I look at the Gen Z founders and they're literally crying on camera and they're doing, and I think good on them because like they're obviously very comfortable doing that. Whereas like for me, I'm like, I could never do that. Like it's just not within my personality. I think maybe because of the way I was brought up or the sort of person I am.
With a CV like that though, where do you think you should be? Because people look at that and are like, that is so impressive. That is so successful.
Yeah.
I look at that and I think, shit, she's so successful. What I hate the term boss bitch, but literally a boss bitch.
Yeah. That's kind of, it's interesting because I guess objectively, if I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, she's done things if I looked at myself objectively. But I guess because I'm the one that has done them, it's sort of almost like it wasn't, I don't know, I guess it was just, I just did it. Like I didn't, like say for example, the book. Yeah. Everyone's like, was that really hard? Like, did that take ages? I'm like, oh, when I reflect back, I'm like, no, I just did it. Yeah. So I think in a way I'm just doing things. So they don't necessarily feel like they're big achievements. They're just things that I'm doing, if that makes any sense. So to answer your question, I'm not sure. I think I think the older I've gotten and, I think we've been in business for a similar amount of time, like I would love to live a life where I just didn't have to stress so much all the time.
Oh my God. We say that all the time. And I think everything you're talking about right now, we can relate to because like what we were saying before, it's like, we've been around for a while and you kind of forget what you have done and you just do the next thing.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
And there are like, I think as, business owners, we all have goals and
kind of standards and all those things all the time. And once you hit one, you've got another goal.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, I'm not really where I want to be yet because I want to achieve the next thing. And it's quite a common thing in business.
The goalposts are always moving.
Absolutely. And it's like, but how do you, and we often talk about this, it's like when something amazing happens, how do you sit in that and really enjoy it and like take it in before you're thinking of the next thing? I don't think it's in business owners' nature
To celebrate.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what you're kind of getting to as well. It's
It's just like, one thing off your list and you're like, okay, next thing.
Yeah, because we're always forecasting because that's business, right? You've got to be thinking of the next thing and, you know, it's it's crazy.
Can you explain your business journey so far? So you started off as a tax lawyer.
Yeah.
So many mistakes.
We learn.
Hey, that's where the lessons happen.
Yeah.
So I guess, going back to when I was young, I guess I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I love that you guys have got an active wear line. Like that would be my dream to do something in that space, but I was not very good at making clothes. And then my parents were both immigrants to Australia. And so they worked so hard to give my brother and I like an amazing chance at life. And I think I got my work ethic from them because they were literally just hustling for every dollar, every cent. And I think that really showed us the importance of working really hard. And so I think because of them coming from Malaysia and then coming here and not having a lot, they were really conscious that my brother and I had a really, I guess, conservative career. So they felt like, you know, you could earn money. So I ended up going, I did common law at uni, then did tax law for about 7 years. I was in tax for quite a while.
For 7 years. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah. So I started KPMG, which was like one of the big four accounting firms. And that was, I never fit in there for starters, but it was a really good, I guess, time for me to mature because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I didn't particularly feel like I was ready to hit the workforce and, you know, be competent at anything, to be honest. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing still. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to turn up every day and like try and do stuff that is professional. I had no idea what I was really doing. And so I did definitely feel like throughout my whole tax career, I felt like an imposter. Like I was like, I was waiting for someone to tap me on the shoulder and go, I know you don't know anything about tax. Yeah, which is honestly quite hard because you just think, oh my God, today could be the day where someone goes, you're a fraud. Like you shouldn't even be in this job. And so, but when I started KPMG, that was the start of Facebook. And that was really, my partner, we met at KPMG and he was saying, he goes, oh, you should get on this thing called Facebook. And I was like, Facebook? What's Facebook? Like, that doesn't sound like it's going to be anything. And then obviously it's like, it's huge. So I got on and then I immediately became fascinated with the ability to consume content at scale, generally from your friends to begin with, and then share content at scale. And so I then just started getting really active. And that's when I started the website, which covered fashion, beauty and lifestyle, and that kind of gave me access into a world that was really cool and so different to tax. So I kind of felt almost a bit like Clark Kent and Superman in that I was living a double life. So I'd go to tax during the day and then I'd get changed in my car and go to like fashion week at night or go to events, and I'm like, wow, there's this whole other world out there that was super creative. And then so I decided to take a couple of days off a week towards the end of my career in tax and do an internship in marketing. And so I went from literally like earning whatever I was earning to earning nothing. Like I wasn't getting paid at all. And I just loved it. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like the people that I'm around are doing some really interesting things. So I really fell in love with just that whole side. And I felt like it felt really glamorous, you know, like so different to what I was doing. And then I ended up being able to get a job at Witchery. So I did a pretty big career change and then went to marketing. I think what people don't realize is, and then you do another, I think, shift financially, but when you go from something that's quite safe to, I guess, quite corporate to then something else that might be not so corporate, like you do take a career, a pay cut. So I literally halved my pay and then I was there for about a year and then I had this itch that I wanted to do my own thing. And at that time, digital marketing agencies were not a thing.
What year was this?
That would have been 2013 or 14. I was at Witchery. Okay. And then so I ended up starting my first digital marketing agency with my then business partner at the time. And we just said, there's going to be no plan B. We're going to make this work. Whatever this looks like, we'll just give it a go. And so we literally picked up the yellow pages and we're just looking for businesses and cold calling them and trying to convince them that they needed help in digital, like this whole thing that didn't exist.
I
back
think
then.
Gary Vee's very famous for saying that you can't have a plan B.
Yes.
Or else
Yeah.
there's no other option. You've got plan A and that's it. Because if you've got a plan B, then you're not 100% into your first project.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? You've gone from like a safe career as a tax lawyer to then running your own thing. How did your family take that?
So I didn't even actually tell my parents that I took time off to do the internship because I didn't think that they would really understand.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, what do you mean you're doing marketing or like an internship?
Like you're safe here and then you're
That's it. What do you mean you're not getting paid?
Yeah.
And so I think even today, like they've sort of seen like the ups and downs of running a business. So I think they inherently just worry.
Yeah.
But I think at the time though, they just had no idea. And obviously because digital is so new as well, they're like, what do you mean you're doing your own thing? And it's like digital, like what is digital marketing? Yeah. So I think it was quite a shock for them. And so I guess, but I think I've always kind of just gone and tried to do my own thing. Like, I don't really follow the path. I think once I find something that I want to do, I just do it. Like I'm almost like a bit stubborn in that, that way. And so nothing can talk me out of it. Like I think, it'd be the same as founders. Like you're either all in or you're all out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no in between as a founder. So I think once I'm set my mind to something, I'm like, cool, I'll just do this. And that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. We'll just work it out later.
And I think that's what you do as a founder. You literally jump off the cliff and you build the plane on the way down.
Yeah.
And you just like hope it works.
Absolutely.
So that the digital agency, that's Cody.
Yes.
And that still exists today.
Yeah. So I've got Cody, which is still going to today. And then I started, we'll talk about this, a company called Mooning, which was in the start of 2022 maybe now. Like all the years just blend into one. And that was when I discovered Web3, so like NFTs, crypto, blockchain. And I thought, okay, this is really going to change the way we market, but it's such a specific, intense industry. So I thought I have to set up a separate company for that. And then ended up setting up that. And then over time, we've focused it on emerging technology. So we've branched into AI, which has been honestly just phenomenal.
How can, if a brand comes to you, just because I want to learn this as well, and they're like, okay, I want to get into marketing, would you direct them straight? I mean, it depends what their objective is, right? But would you direct them straight to Mooning or Cody? Or
good question. Yeah.
How do you know when they're ready to go to Mooning? Because that's just a whole new world.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So we do a lot of crossover clients. So you've got clients who are in the Web3 space or in the AI space already, and they can just go straight to Mooning because the team like lives and breathes that space. Then if they're more like a traditional Web2 company or need more traditional services like paid ads, things like that, then they'll go to Cody.
Yeah.
But then I do have Web2 clients who go, we want to experiment with AI. I'm like, amazing. So that's where we can have a bit of a play and do some really cool things.
Yeah, what does your AI business look like? Is it companies that are doing AI things, or is it businesses like ours that are wanting to use AI as a technology? Or I know for us, and we're focusing a lot on not on SEO, but on the
large language model optimization. That's amazing. Yeah, that's great.
So it's like, well, what does your AI business do?
Yeah, that's a good. So we either help AI companies market. So that's kind of almost a bit more like with their traditional marketing, like posting on social, creating content, doing paid ads, or we would help Web2 companies like yours utilize AI technology.
Okay.
So whether it's like setting up AI agents, ranking on large language models like your ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, etc., and then also using AI to generate content.
Okay.
So whether it's and something that's really amazing at the moment is like you think of traditional e-commerce industry as you guys imagery as you guys would know. So you can take the photo on a model on a white background, and then for you to then change the scene of that, it's like you then have to find a new location, get the model there. Whereas now you can literally take that image and have the model, if you wanted to,
Italy,
in Paris, Italy. You haven't even left your couch. Like it's just amazing. And then so just being able to do that at scale for our brands, like for our clients, has been amazing. So
are you allowed to give us an example of some brands that you work with that are doing it really well?
Oh, good question if I can say. Some of them are like so like we've got like a big brand that owns a lot of shoe brands.
Okay.
And they have so many SKUs. So for them to try and get
it's a lot,
styling, it's just and on a different background, for all the different shoes they have, it's just not possible. So we use AI for that.
Smart.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
but we say that with AI, it's like you still need a human in the loop. So AI isn't at a stage where it can just kind of be doing things autonomously. So, say for example, with our those images of shoes, we would still need to then do a human check to go, is every single detail correct? If not, then we need to manually Photoshop it. So it can kind of get us probably like 95% of the way there in some cases, and then we sort of finish the rest off with like the human touch.
AI is crazy. Like I definitely haven't experimented to that extent with AI, but like even the other day I was like, oh my God, Sarah, I just put like our activewear on this model. It looks like a real model. We can use it which is great. But also I'm like, oh, I love like in life, in real person photo shoots. It's like, but it is good to know that that is an option.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you might just be able to do more then.
Exactly.
So you can do your standard ones that you normally might do, but that would cost, tens of thousands of dollars in some case. Then you've got your usage fees and all that. And I'm not saying that's completely redundant. I still think there's a place for that. But then when you're a small brand, for example, and you don't have even budget to pay a model or a photographer, then what do you do?
It's great to have the alternative. I actually saw an article a couple of weeks ago of a brand, and I won't name the brand because it is a local brand, and they were using an AI model and they got absolutely blasted for it. I was like, you don't know where they are financially. Maybe they're trying to get ahead of the game. Like this is where it's going. Like, but they got a lot of shit on TikTok.
Remember Michaela, the Instagram model back in the day?
She's still on Instagram.
Yeah. Being so involved in AI, do you have any concerns about it?
Definitely.
Good
and I actually
question.
saw this really interesting post the other day. It was on LinkedIn, and someone posted about how you have to be so careful of bias with AI. And the way they tested it was they were in Switzerland, and they said, give me the estimated salary for this particular job. And it was, they described like the tasks, where it was located, the seniority. And they said, it's for a man. And then they did the exact copy, the exact same prompt, put into AI, but changed man to woman, and the female salary was less. It was like $20,000 less. So we have to be careful because there's still biases that they're getting the information and knowledge from in the world, and so it kind of just carries on the bias. So I think you just have to be so careful, and so that is a bit scary. The amount of people that just literally rely on it and go, I'm going to just put this in a ChatGPT, ask it a question, and don't sense check it is scary, because ChatGPT and those kind of programs.
What do you mean by sense check it?
So they don't look at the source. They never say, where did you get this from?
So it could be just like spitted
it makes
random
it up.
facts.
Yeah, because it is a bit of a yes man. Like, ChatGPT, Claude, because they want to keep you happy because then you keep using it. And it really honestly makes up a lot of stuff. So I always say to people, my tech stack is to use Perplexity for research, which is pretty much like Google, but it's like a conversational Google where you can ask it a question. So say, for example, I might say, where are the best microphones that I can buy? Like, what are the best microphones I can buy online? And then it'll give you the answer. And then I can keep going, where can I buy these in Melbourne? And then it'll give you the thing. Give me the top rated out of the, like, you can just keep talking in that same chat. So it's really, really good, but it just gives you that answer straight away, and it has all the sources, and it sort of shows you where it's coming from, and it actually has it footnoted as if it's like a reference, whereas ChatGPT will just make stuff up and people just take it as gospel, and they don't then go in, because there's times where I've researched on ChatGPT and I'd go in and I'd say give me the source where this is from, then it gives me the source of the article. I go in and there's literally no mention of what it is. So I think people need to be careful that just because it's said by AI doesn't mean that it's correct. And so there's definitely concerns around that. And then obviously people worry about losing their jobs to AI, but we always say you won't lose your job to AI, you'll lose your job to someone using AI. So it's like you need to actually make sure that you're using it. And I would say every single day be using it. Like you'll just fall behind if you don't. And then set aside, if you can, 30 minutes a week where you can just try and test new things. And I'll be honest with you, probably 95%, probably even more, I'd say 99% of the AI platforms out there are crap. So there's very few that are good.
As a fashion brand, and obviously we have Stitch Up, what AI programs would you recommend to us for our fashion brand, and then for like video production?
For any e-commerce
brand.
brand.
Like, what would be your top 3 for e-commerce brands?
Ooh, that's a good question. So there's definitely AI chatbots that are out there. So I think something like that, no brainer, because they're so much more sophisticated than your usual chatbots. I would also say I would use something like a Chat GPT or a Mid Journey for image generation.
Okay.
So if you have, for example, your e-commerce images on a plain background and you want to put them on a model like running or in a gym, you can do that. Or actually Nano Banana, which is Google's new.
I need to write all these down and then I
Yeah.
forget we're recording.
So Nano Banana is like the weirdest name.
Yeah, okay.
But that's Google's new image generator. And
Okay.
it's probably the closest and the best one where it could take your exact object. So it could have like a pair of leggings and put that on a model.
Okay.
And that's been actually quite hard to date. And anything with text, Chat GPT or Mid Journey or those kind of platforms just struggle to get text.
Yeah. I've used a few and I'm like, oh, that is not what I wanted. Like you have this vision in your head and it's like, that's not what I
That's
wanted.
it. But
yeah.
it's also very literal as well. So I think
Yes.
people forget that it's still a machine. Like whereas if I said to you, hey, can you do XYZ task, like you still have that common sense in your brain where you go, okay, I know what you want me to do. So say if I said to you, I've written this article, can you please rewrite it? You would go, okay, great. So I'll rewrite it to be, XYZ to make the tone of voice different, whatever it is. But when I remember when I first used I was using ChatGPT for the first time, I said, can you please rewrite this article? And it literally just wrote out the exact same words. So it was so black and white.
Yeah.
And then in terms of your another way that you can use AI as a business, and this is like one that I feel like not a lot of people think about, is you can use it as if it's a person. So you can brief. So say, for example, you might not have a board or a CFO or a CEO or an ops manager. You can make it the persona and say, like, assume you are an experienced CEO of an activewear brand, or you might go, assume you're the CMO of Aloe Activewear.
Okay.
And then you can actually go, I've thought of this marketing campaign. I want you to critically analyze it. And you have to tell it to be mean to you because
Oh, wow.
it's almost like too nice and
Yeah.
it won't be hypercritical. So I literally go as far as saying, you will not hurt my feelings. Like I want you to be very
through me.
critical.
Yeah.
Or even like very specifically pick 5 things that's fundamentally wrong with this marketing campaign,
Okay.
whatever it is. So you can assume that or get it to assume that it is a like a board member, CEO, CFO, expert, Steve Jobs. You can actually now get mentored by some of the Whitney Wolf Herd. Like you can just say, can you assume you're Whitney Wolf Herd? What advice would she give me in this situation?
Yeah.
And because there's so much information out there, you can go, okay, well, Whitney's most likely to say that. You can also get it to pretend it's your customer. So if you feed in your customer demographic, you can say, okay, assume that you're, our ideal customer. We're thinking of doing this marketing campaign. How would you receive it? Would you take it well? Would you not take it well? What would you like to see instead? And so what people forget is like, then you can all of a sudden access these pool of people at any moment. So you can do it at night, you can do it on weekends, because if you think about focus groups, you can't just call a focus group at 11 o'clock at night when you might be working, whereas you can literally just go on and go, yeah, here you go, like what do you think of this campaign? And then I actually also use it for therapy too. So it was like, I think it was 11 p.m. like a couple of months ago. And obviously I can't call my therapist and be like, hey, can you please talk to me now? Hello, wake up. So then I was lying in bed. My husband was asleep. And I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to someone because my mind is racing. I'm really stressed out about something. And I literally said, assume you're a therapist who specializes in working with founders. This is my situation. Can you give me some practical tips on how I can actually get through this situation and fall asleep because I'm really struggling? And then I just sort of almost like had a discussion with it. And then I had some really good tips and then I ended up being able to fall asleep. So there's so many ways. And we were talking about how lonely the founder journey is. Like, I think it's almost like, I'm not saying it's ever going to replace human interaction, but there is something to be said for having literally someone on call whenever you want.
Yeah,
like
literally 24/7.
That's it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I never thought of it too.
Let's get into the founder journey because you have just released this is your second book?
Third book, actually.
Third book.
First book on my own though. So
really,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
Get
you.
Real, 30 stories of female founders and other lessons in business.
Yeah.
What are your biggest lessons in business so far?
Oh my God, there's so many. I've had so many mistakes. I think, that's a good question. Numbers, we were talking about this, off camera, and this is something that really came across actually when I was interviewing all the women. I think women naturally don't like numbers as a mass generalization. So I think when you don't like numbers, it can be very overwhelming to think about numbers, especially when things aren't going well. And I'm
Yeah.
so much like
We talk about
ostrich.
this all the time.
Yeah.
I almost, and this is so bad, and I don't know why I do this. I probably should talk to my therapist about
Yeah.
it. But it's almost like if I don't see something, the problem's not there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so-
ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Absolute ignorance is bliss.
But then deep down you're like, oh, I
You
don't want to.
there's-
Yeah.
You know you need to look, but you don't want to look. So, but if I don't look at it,
It's not an issue.
Yeah.
I think a lot of we can relate to. Well, I can relate to that definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's easy just to be like, I don't want to have to deal with the stress
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
So I'm just not going to do
yeah.
it.
So true. Did you
Right.
find that common with a lot of women or just yourself?
A lot of women in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a lot. I think that's why inherently I think women just don't like numbers.
Yeah.
And I think naturally probably gravitate to more creative things in the business, like marketing, or, you know, brand creation. So I think that's great. But then if the numbers aren't stacking up, then obviously you can be making $10 million, but if you're losing $10,001, because like
Yeah.
that's a cost, it's
Yeah.
like we actually
You're
not
in-
profitable. Yeah.
Exactly.
Even if
Absolutely.
you're running a $10 million company.
Yeah.
So I think over time, I've just tried to get better at just looking at the numbers, even though it's like really freaking painful
Stressful, I
sometimes.
know. Yeah.
So stressful.
Yeah.
So stressful. And then I think the importance of also surrounding yourself with other founders because they get it. You know, when things are shit, like then I can call up, you know, my friend Mia, who I know you've had on
Yeah.
the podcast, and she'll get it. She'll know like that is actually really like stressful or
Yeah.
that's really bad. Or when things go really well and it might seem so tiny to someone else, she'll get like, you know,
Celebrate with you.
that's it. And she'll go, oh my God, that's amazing. That's like
Mhm.
really amazing. And it's so funny because my parents are very much like, and I don't know if this is like an Asian parent thing, they don't really do they don't praise
Mhm.
like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yep.
And so the irony is my husband's exactly the same. And so it's so weird when you
Yeah.
realize Freud
That's
was right. I just literally married my parents, which is like very concerning.
Yes.
And so like I'm someone who I give a lot of praise like to, you know, my
Mm,
team and
yeah.
people around me because I know what it's like to feel
not
like
get it.
to not get it. But then say if I go to them and I'm like, oh my God, I've written a book, they're like, that's nice. Like they just don't see it
Yeah.
as something big. So I think that can be sometimes
It's
challenging.
deflating a little bit, I think.
It really is.
We've spoken
yeah.
about this before. My mum was very similar, and I had to have a conversation with her. And I was
Same,
like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm just doing everything and nothing is right for you. Like I feel
Yeah.
like for me, it was like I was doing it for her.
Yes,
praise.
yeah.
And then I had a conversation with her, and now she's being completely the opposite, but not to
Yeah.
the point where it's over the top.
Yeah.
She's just generally like, oh, Tally likes to be acknowledged
That's
for
it.
what she does.
Yeah.
Was my dad is completely opposite. My dad celebrates.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Are your parents the same?
Yeah. I think all parents
Yeah,
are.
I think so. I think it's common.
What
Yeah.
else is a common theme apart from the numbers in the book?
Failure.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's just having a positive relationship with failure versus
Yeah.
seeing it as something that is negative.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like if you're not failing enough, you're not trying enough things, you're just well and truly in your comfort zone.
That's true.
And so I think definitely all the women in the book weren't afraid to fail and continuously fail, which I think is really important because if you run a business, even in life, if you think about it, no one's life is 100% perfect. So you're going to deal with things not working out at any one time. And so if you can't deal with that in life, then like you're not going to be able to get through. Like you won't be tough enough because life is freaking hard.
Absolutely. We actually had a conversation with another fellow business owner a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't on the podcast. It was just a general conversation. And something that she said that made me feel so much better about failure. She was talking about how she's always taking risks and stuff like that. And her husband is kind of a little bit like, he's in business with her. He's a little bit like, oh, hesitant. And she was like, let's just do it. Like, what's going to fail? We're just going to lose everything. But we've got people that we can call up that are going to take us in. We're going to be fine. And I was like, oh my God, like I needed to hear that at that time. I was like, if we fail, we're fine. Like we can go to our parents' house. We can
100%.
we'll just rebuild again.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's such a common business owner thing to say, but it's kind of nice to hear it from someone else when you're like, oh yeah, they're so right. Like
that's it. And
Yeah.
we are in a situation where we are lucky that we do have, you know, majority of us do have people that we can turn to.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, like some of the founders in the book, like one of them was literally just living on a credit card with her son as a single
Oh,
mum.
wow. That's a lot.
And still started her own business. And I go, there's people taking way more risks than
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I am out there. Like, what am I doing? You know,
Yeah.
like I'm really taking no risk at all. Like worst case scenario, I could just go to my parents and say, can
Exactly.
you please help me out?
Yeah.
So I think when you actually break it down, I think my therapist was saying, like, once you break it down into worst case scenario, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
there was a business owner that was coming to you and they're like, can you please give me advice? What part of this book would you be like, read? Or whose story? To give them like motivation, a bit of a kick up the butt.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's so many. So I guess to take a step back with the book, so it's got 30 interviews with female founders, but I also put in a guide, and this was my editor Talia's idea. She said, put in a guide for someone starting a book. So there's actually 8 chapters in there that will help you from thinking of an idea to then scaling it, raising money. And then the last chapter is like, can you really have it all? So I think as women, like there's so much pressure, or we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to, be obviously amazing founders. If we're, say, a founder, be a good friend, be a good
if you're a
mum,
yeah.
be a good daughter, like, and all that. And I think we put so much guilt on ourselves and so much pressure, and there is a lot of societal pressure on women. Like, I think there's one founder in there who was amazing, but she said that she'd always get in the boardroom, when she was starting up her business, always get asked, like, who's looking after the kids? It's like, my husband, like the other parent, like, so I think there's still a lot of societal not guilt, but like, I think women are made to feel guilty if they want to be a mum, it's like, why aren't you looking after the kids? So I think that's definitely something that I discussed in the book. But I think if I was talking to a founder, I'd want them to understand, especially like a new founder, that, and this is why I wanted to write the book, and that's why the title is Get Real, because I wanted it to be real conversations, because the founder journey is so glamorized. Like, you look at Shark Tank, you look at the girl boss movement, the hustle culture. It's made to look really glamorous, but I always say, like, it is shit 99% of the time. There's 1% of the time where it's amazing. Like, you might get a big win, or you might see someone in your team, like, grow and do something amazing. But if you're not prepared for that, don't do it, because it is like stressful. Like, I can't even think of the last time I completely could shut off and take a holiday. Like, like, I'm always checking my emails. I'm always like making sure the team are okay. That's it. Yeah. And so if you're not ready for that lifestyle, don't do it. Yeah. Because it's not for everyone. No. And that's totally fine. Like, you can have an amazing, rewarding career working for someone else, or you can be like an entrepreneur. But if you're not willing to make that sacrifice and realize that it is not glamorous, like, pretty much at all.
99.9% of the time. It's so true.
Do you have an answer to that question? Can women have it all?
I guess that is, I guess it sort of depends on what you define all is. And I know that sounds like a cop-out. So I feel like, I could be a much better friend. Yeah. For example. But I know that I've got my pie of energy. And as an introvert, it's like, it takes a lot for me to get out there and talk to people and I guess socialize, which sounds really sad. I'm just like mostly in my pajamas at home.
Oh, same. Like, just with my daughter. Like,
because I'm tired most of the time. But so I know that I have my pie of time and energy. And so I know that based on that, I will only have a certain portion that I can allocate to friends, only a certain portion that I can allocate to family, only a certain portion I can allocate to business. And I do, if I look at that and objectively think, okay, am I doing the best that I possibly can? Then I think, yeah, actually, you know what? I am. And that's like all you can really do. Because I think you can always, obviously, if you really dig deep, sure, you can always be doing more. But I feel like any given time, like, I'm trying to be as present as I can. So I had I haven't shared anything on social media, but I had a little boy 2 years ago.
Congratulations.
And so thank you. Yeah. So that was like, it took a long time for me to even, like, I never even wanted children actually. So I had my son quite late in life. And because my husband always wanted a big family, I'm like, and I was trying to explain to him, like, you don't understand what it's like being a founder who's a female, because people will then question, okay, she's pregnant now, she got, like, and I did actually have, when I was trying to get investment in my company, I had someone say to me, it was a man, he said, if because at the time I didn't know if I wanted to be pregnant, and so I didn't realize, but in one of our conversations he must have asked me about if I wanted to have kids, and he said, if you had wanted to have kids, I wouldn't invest in you.
Wow.
Like, and so, like, that kind of,
it's scary,
rhetoric is still out there for sure. And so, like, I've just completely not talked about it, posted anything on social media, and it's like just like that part of my life that I just generally keep.
Though.
Just private. Keep it private. Because I think I don't, like, it's just one aspect of who I am.
Yeah.
But I do feel guilty sometimes when I'm with my son. I'm like, I'm on my phone, like checking emails. I'm like, I've got to consciously like put it away, because like I want him as much as possible to feel like he's getting
Full attention.
full attention. So what that means to me is like, okay, so I might spend less time with him, but I know that when I'm with him, I'm not on my phone.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I try and do. So I think it's just adjusting who you are. But I think it is possible to have it all, but you just have to adjust what having it all
Yeah,
means.
I was just
Yeah.
going to say, I was thinking about that when you were saying, I'm like, because I don't know if you can, I don't know about balance. It's something always gives, right? And
For
it's
sure, yeah.
definitely what you're saying. But I'm like, I suppose it depends what you classify as all.
That's
Your
it.
all is very different to what my all might be. And all is
Definitely.
different to what your
Yeah.
all is. So
For sure.
yeah, it's an interesting question, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what I was sort of trying to, and that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to be the last chapter in the book, because I think women especially, in the book is actually for men or women. Like you never go to the business section and say, oh, this book's written by a man, therefore it's just for men.
Yeah,
I think
true.
that's also the perception I wanted to change around women founders as well. Like the lessons aren't just for women. Any man can pick up that book and learn a lot. And in fact, I think they should, because there are things in there where they might understand and see, oh, okay, this is actually quite challenging for a woman. I never saw it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But if you go to the business book shelf, and the reason why I wanted to write this was because 8 to 30% of women business books are on or by women, which is a real problem, because then you're
Yes.
only getting barely any part of the picture when it comes to business. Like you're only getting a man, well, majority man's perspective. Yeah. So next time
It's
go to
completely different. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Next time go to the books. Next time you go to a bookshop, have a look at the shelves. It's like, Bill Gates memoir,
Yeah.
Elon
So
Musk,
true.
finance bros, all that,
Yeah.
which is fine. But like women inherently don't want to talk about their achievements. They don't feel like they're credible enough to share knowledge and information. So I just thought, you know what, like I need to change that and be a part of the discussion around highlighting these incredible women. So
Oh, I can't wait to read it.
Congratulations.
I know. I
Oh,
cannot
thank
wait.
you.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much.
With all your businesses, let's discuss it in the terms of a pie.
Yeah.
How do you divvy up the energy of what business gets what energy? Because you have so many on the go.
I'm pretty sure I have ADD or something, like, which I think a lot of founders kind
I
of
think
do.
so
Yeah.
too,
Yeah, it must be like if you've got ADD, just go and be a founder. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
exactly.
just love jumping from things to things. I definitely find that every day will be different. So there'll be some days where one company will just need my attention more than others, but I love being busy with different things. Like I love being challenged and I love learning. So I feel that if I get bored with one business, and that's probably well, it's also like with Cody, like I definitely feel like things in digital change a lot. And so that's, I think, what has kept me going with Cody for so long. Like it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
But then when I saw Mooning, I was like, oh, this has actually opened my eyes to like a whole new area, like crypto, blockchain, NFTs, AI, which is moving at like an even faster pace to Cody. So I think I still love, I think the knowledge of Cody that I sort of, not to say like the traditional digital marketing, I think there's definitely a place for that and I really believe that. But then I think I also owe it to my clients and my team to be going, okay, what is next in this space?
Yeah.
And so that's why for me, one of the most fun parts of my job is I get to literally sit there and test AI tools all day, every day, and go, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Oh, great. I can tell my clients about this. This is going to save them time. This is going to save them money. So I think that's sort of what has kept me going. So I guess I just sort of go with whatever I feel like I need to do on the day, but there's no, like, I'm not organized at all. I do my to-do list at the start of every day. But I don't,
There's no formula.
There is no time blocking or anything. I'm like not unorganized. Because like some people wake up like, I wake up at this time every morning and I do this and I meditate and I journal. I'm like, I just need to just try and get out of bed and just get on, like just try and look like a human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually I'm now one of those people that, when you get like an aura ring.
I just saw you had an
people,
aura ring. Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh no, I'm one of those people that's like, I've got an aura ring and like I just want to talk.
You're like, I slept for this amount of time. I can't get one because I feel like it's going to give me anxiety.
I am that person now. I'm like analyzing
sleep quality.
Honestly,
it's like a cult though. Like we've got friends that have got it. They're like, okay, so this is what my body did when I had alcohol. This is how I slept. This is how I'm like, oh, now too much information. I don't want to know because it will give me anxiety.
It is. Well, I mean, I think it's definitely helped me understand my sleep better because I don't know if you guys found it's like it's very hard to sleep.
Yes.
Because if I wake up in the middle of the night,
start thinking,
my brain is gonna start firing. I'm gonna be be lying there thinking about a million and one things.
Yeah.
And so I've had pretty much like quite a bad relationship with sleep. So I've tried, you know, like I take supplements and stuff to try and help myself sleep better. And so I think it's interesting for me. This is more just like for me to understand my sleep better and how to sleep better. Because I think as you get older, when you get a kid, it's like, oh my God, I'm probably not going to sleep now for the next
they're like wake up
30
and you
years.
just can't get back to sleep.
That's
Great.
it. Yeah.
Love this.
So I think so I think that sort of helped me a little bit, but I'm definitely not one of those people that's get up, journal, lemon water, did this. I'm like, nah, just try and get out of the house and look decent.
Do you drink coffee?
No, I don't. I have an
coffee?
addictive personality.
At least you know yourself.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
That is a good start.
Yeah. So I do matcha.
Yeah.
So I find that's really good. So
I feel like all the listeners, I'm not a matcha girly, but I feel like all the listeners would love to know where the best matcha is in Melbourne because I see that on TikTok all the time.
Oh yeah, I think pretty much like my feed is literally just matcha places.
Seriously, I don't even drink it, and my feed is that too.
Yeah, so I
Any favorites?
Yeah, so actually I do have a few favorites. So I went to Myland on the weekend. They've got a matcha bagel, but they have a really good matcha. Yeah. It is.
I think I saw that on your Instagram feed. Did
delicious.
You post that?
Yes.
Yes, I did see that.
It's like a matcha with matcha cream cheese and raspberry jam. Freaking unbelievable. They do a really good matcha. Bloomwood in the city do a really good matcha. And the matcha I have at home is Hello Matcha, which is like the ceremonial grade, like the top quality one. And that's really good. So I try and just have a few of those throughout the day.
Yeah.
But one thing this is like I always do though is if I know I'm going to go out the night before, I always work out what I'm going to wear.
That's good.
Yeah, because
Organised.
that is a real time suck. Even though pretty much everything in my wardrobe's
true.
like pretty much black. I'm like rarely not wearing black today, but and so you think it should be easy. Like I have wasted
It's true.
so much time.
Yeah.
And postpartum, I'm like, nothing
Yeah.
fits. So I'm like, then you just spiral. It's like
Yes.
honestly, you spiral like everything
I
freaking
know.
sucks. I hate my whole wardrobe. Like nothing's working.
It's so true.
So I've had so many of those where I've just gone, okay, I need to be more organized. So now every night I'll be lying in bed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear this. And I
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm straight up, know what I'm going to wear.
and then you feel
So-
confident the next day because you're like, you've put
Yes.
together your outfit. There's no fucking around. You're
That's
just like,
it.
I
That's
feel
it.
like when you're in business, you just have to be, even if you're not feeling confident, it's like you want to
Yeah.
look confident and
And you know what? It's actually decision fatigue because like you just need to try and eliminate. And so I'm very much like I will have the same thing. I will eat the same thing pretty much every single day. I just know I'm going to wear like the day before. Like I just try and eliminate as many decisions I have to make in my day as possible. Otherwise, it just becomes hard to make
That's so
decisions.
true.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
can you explain decision fatigue? I think I tried to explain it to Tully in the terms of her daughter and toys. I was like, take toys away from her because she's
Yes.
got so many to choose from.
Yes.
Just give her 2 to choose from.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I feel like when you have so many options, it becomes so overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I actually have one black belt. I have one brown belt. I have very few pairs of shoes. Like they're all just sort of like different heights, so I can kind of work out. And I don't really have that many. If I buy a bag, I generally like will sell a bag. So I've got sort of like one bag, one size in one color,
you get
like
over
black.
it and then,
So I don't like. I'm not someone who hoards a lot of things because I don't want to have to think about which of my 10 black belts will I wear today. I'm
So
like,
true.
So I've actually tried to purposely. I'm like, this is like therapy. I'm just realizing.
we tend to do that.
Do
to
you find
people.
that in business as well, though? Say you're at Cody and you're trying to come up for a plan for a client or something, and you've got all these ideas. Do you scrap ideas first and be like, okay, let's just take some of the decisions off the table?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think if you offer them too many, then they get
Too
overwhelmed. Because
overwhelmed.
part of your job is to just actually curate things that are actually good and not present them with a whole lot of crap because then
True.
it gets distracting.
And I think
So-
for founders and business owners, the quicker you can make a decision,
100%.
And too many like we were just talking about before, it's like too many opinions, advice,
Oh,
and it just
too
gets
many
in your head,
cooks.
and then you're
Yep.
like, even though deep down you know,
Mm.
but you're like, oh yeah, maybe they're right. Oh no, she's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
and
I
then you lose your confidence.
I was
That's a
gonna
really
just
good
about to
point.
say,
Yeah.
and when you make that decision, be confident in
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to lose that.
Yeah.
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 And I see it happen all the time. Like I'll have clients come to us and I go, you are going to struggle to make a decision on this because you have to feel the need to ask like 20 other people
Yeah.
and they're all
Oh, I
going to
hate
have
that.
a different decision. So
Yeah.
I think over time, I feel like I've just become so decisive And I'm just like, this is it. Like, I know, you just know, I think because you've seen it, most of it before, like, I'm like, that's not going to work. I know that's not going to work. That's definitely not going to work.
Yeah.
And so you can become really decisive and then confident. And a lot of the time, like, your decision might be wrong, but you've just got to make a decision. And that's where I see a lot of people struggle. Like, they won't make a decision at all. And then they're fluffing around. And in that time, I've made 10 decisions, all probably the wrong ones, but I've got to a point.
You're moving forward.
That's
so true.
where you're actually moving forward to get to a point where something is right.
Yeah.
But you can't do that unless you make a step, and which means you need to make a decision, even if it's the wrong one.
I think that's a big difference between a really good leader and business owner and a not so good business owner is the ability to execute a decision.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I definitely can't take any credit because my team are amazing at execution.
Yeah.
But then it's like surrounding yourself with the right
those
people.
Exactly.
That will execute. But also I think being able to trust your team and let go, because sometimes it's really easy. And at the start, I'm like, no, like it has to be this way because like it's my way, and I think this is right. And then over time, it's like I've just let that go, and I'm like, you need to empower your team, otherwise they're not going to feel like they're owning it. So then I'm like, if you want to go down that path, you do it, and then if it's a mistake, you have to own that mistake. And so I just now try as much as possible not to even make. Unless it's like a really big decision, I'm like, no, 100% has to be this way, which is very, very rare. I like really want to empower my team to go, no, I believe this is right. I'm like, okay, great. Well, let's run with that then.
What's the best piece of advice you've received as a business owner?
I've received a lot.
I mean, I did read that one of your mentors is the founder or CEO of Netflix.
A co-founder of Netflix.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an interesting story actually. So I love sharing content on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, honestly, for anyone out there, it's so untapped for business owners. Like, you can reach out to buyers on there. You can get media opportunities on there. It is like gold mine, and there's not as much noise. Like, if you have a look at Instagram, TikTok's a lot more noise posting. Like, so I think 3 million people post on LinkedIn, and there's like about 3 billion people. No, sorry, there's like 1 billion people registered on it. So there's like a very small percentage of people that post.
Yep.
So it's really easy to sort of get people's attention by posting on there. So I listened to his book, That Will Never Work. If you haven't read it, it's very, very good. It's like the story of Netflix, but it's like all these amazing business stories woven in. And so I took some lessons down, and I posted a post on LinkedIn, and I tagged him in it, and he liked it. I was like, this is freaking cool. We're best friends. And then the next week I did the same thing, and he liked it again. I was like, oh my God, like, he knows that I exist. I was like, probably it's not even him. But anyway, so I messaged him. I said, hey, I'd love to interview you for a podcast that I'm doing. And then he replied. I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. Yeah. And then so we were talking, and he was actually coming to Australia because he loves it here. And so he we're trying to make it work, and then couldn't get it to work like with the time because his schedule was full. Then he went back to America, and I kept messaging him going, can we please do it? Can we please do it? This was before lockdown and before COVID and before everything was done, like, or so much was done on video. So I said, look, why don't we just do it on video? And he goes, okay, fine, let's do it. And then he was so lovely, like, just really, really genuinely nice person. And so we kept in touch, and every couple of months because I followed him on social, I said, this is like an awesome post, but this isn't best practice. Like, try this instead. And he was like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you for that. Then one day he messaged me going, can we chat? I was like, oh my God, what do you want to talk about? Like, I felt nervous. And then, so I jumped on a call with him, and he said, would you consider pitching to manage my personal socials, like an agency? I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Yes. I mean, that's what I was thinking in my head. And then of course I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Trying to play a really
later. Yeah.
And then so we ended up pitching and then winning his account.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we worked with him for like a couple of years, and he's just like amazing to work with because he's so passionate about helping like startups. Like that is actually like what he just feels so much joy in. So his podcast was really almost like live mentoring with startups. It wasn't like him interviewing celebrity friends. It was literally like, you've got a startup, come on and I'll talk you through your problems and stuff. So
cool.
What a freaking cool way to give back. So yeah, he's super passionate. So yeah, he's just amazing, like a really good person, no ego. But one thing that he was really good at was having balance in life. And so every Tuesday at 5 p.m, he said, I'm leaving now. Everyone knew this. 5 p.m, I'm leaving. I'm doing a date night with my wife. Because he said, I didn't want to be on my 7th startup and 7th wife. Because like a lot of people in that world just, threw themselves headfirst into work. So he said, I don't care what's going on. If the whole place
Set
is
a
burning
boundary.
down, like, don't talk to me. I'm like uncontactable from 5 p.m. And when you do that, people just work things out because they're like, I think sometimes it can, if you're there, they almost use you as a crutch.
Yeah.
Because they know, okay, they're going to come to you and be able to work out a problem because you'll give them an answer. But if they're forced to work it out themselves, they often will because like they're armed with the tools. People
I
just
like that.
get
I
lazy,
think a lot
so.
of business owners probably, people in their life in general, boundaries with friends and stuff, or like
Yeah.
boundaries with your partner. I think it's really important.
For sure.
That's actually a really good take. Like even if you don't have a business,
yeah.
with your partner, be like, okay, every Tuesday, 6
Date night.
p.m., date night.
That's it.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be in a business, but I think that's so good to set a boundary.
Absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, they're still together till this day.
Oh, that's
like, which is
nice.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you have to put in time with your, so if you've got a partner with your
Mhm.
friends, like you have to invest that time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so, like, I was even telling my partner, we did a rare date night on the weekend. I was like, you need to step it up.
Yeah.
Don't assume I'm going to just be here. Look at all these people on TikTok. Like, you know, they're telling their partners, like, you can't take your partner for granted. Like, you know, you need to invest in, like, people always say never stop dating your partner. But I do believe that that's true.
Yeah, I do
Like, you
too.
can't just assume they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, there's, you know, so many distractions. You could just wake up all of a sudden one morning and just realize I'm like not even in love with you anymore
Yeah.
if you don't put in the effort. Like,
Yeah.
and I think people just take their partners and their relationships for granted and don't
Absolutely.
put in the time.
Yeah.
So I gave him like, I was
Serving.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, you need to step it up, man.
Yeah. I hope he does.
Well, he's normally not too. He's actually not too bad,
Yeah.
but he's
Just
like
putting that little
fun.
extra little
thank
bit.
you. Yeah. But then he always goes like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, work
You
it
work
out.
it out. I have to work
Yeah.
out everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, work it out. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've got a brain. You're not an idiot. You can think
Absolutely.
of something. Because I feel like women naturally put in so much effort.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
work it all out.
that's it. And we
Yeah.
just naturally, I think, are more thoughtful. Like, you know, like I always buy him his favorite chips if I see it at the supermarket or do like, you know, these little things, and guys just
Oh
inherently
my God, I
have to
They
do
don't
literally
it.
think
had this
about that.
conversation with Damien the other day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My partner, I
Yeah.
literally had it. I'm like, you just don't like show initiative sometimes.
Thank
like I'm
you.
always
Yeah.
thinking of little things like that.
Exactly.
And then never.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
said, like, you know, it doesn't have to cost,
No.
you know, a whole lot of money. It's
Yeah.
just, you know, because he goes, oh, but I got you those tin of Pringles. You're like, I was like, okay, that was months ago, and you got that free on a
Yeah.
plane. Like, that wasn't the
That's what
ultimate
Free on a
Damien said
romance.
too. He's
plane.
like, I bought you that Pepsi Max the other day. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? It's like 2 months ago.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true. But
So-
yeah, we just have to work it all out.
yeah.
Always.
To wrap it up, what bit of advice would you give to someone listening who is in the early stages of being a founder or wants to take the leap and maybe leave their corporate job and start something of their own?
So for the corporate job, I would say worst case scenario, you can just go back to doing what you're doing now. So whether you're working banking, finance, consulting, etc. And then, so this is what I say to a lot of people, and they go, yeah, that's true. And so I say, well, you're currently living your worst case scenario.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah,
You're staying in your
true.
job. Yeah. So it's like, do you feel comfortable that you're doing that? Because if not, then you need
Yeah.
to, you know, I guess try and take a risk. But you can either literally quit. I'd definitely recommend having a lot of savings if you're going to do
Yeah.
that, because you pretty much go from guaranteed income to literally peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
And that could honestly be for years.
Mhm.
So you need to be ready to have no money for a really long time,
Mhm.
potentially even forever, because being a founder is like
Yes,
really
it's
freaking hard.
sad, yeah.
Yeah, because the minute there's a cash flow problem, your team still get paid, but you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
You know, the minute that money has to go into the business, it's your money.
Mhm.
So I think you need to be prepared for all those sacrifices that you're going to have to make. Like if you're wanting to, you know, if you're in a corporate job, but also there's ways that you can do it if you, I guess, are willing to make sacrifices. So if you want to do it and have a corporate job, then you have to work late nights.
Yeah.
You have to work on weekends. When your
weekends.
friends are going out having brunch, you can't do that because you're hustling. You're like working on your marketing plan. You're creating content for social media. So I think if you want to do it and leave your corporate job, or at least do it on the side, you have to be willing to work hard.
Mhm.
And then for a founder who's starting up now, like you will, and assuming that that's their full-time job, you will have to fight with every single weapon you have in your arsenal.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it's honestly really hard to even survive in business. So if you're not willing to do that, you have to really think about whether it's right for you. Like if you're okay on camera, you can get out there on camera.
Mhm.
If you have the ability to go out and walk the streets and show your product to store owners, you should be bloody doing that
Mhm.
every single weekend or during the day or whatever it is. Like you cannot be too proud to do anything, because especially at the start, you will need to do anything. You will need to empty the bins. You will need to
Mhm.
be the accounts person. You need to be the finance person. You will need to be the HR person. You will need to be the salesperson. Like you need to be willing to do anything, because otherwise it's just not going to work. Like
Yeah.
you can't have an ego in business.
It's true.
Like you
Mm.
yeah, you won't make it. It's too hard. Yeah. Like you're not too big to do anything. Like
Yeah.
I'll do literally anything for my team. I'm like, give me grunt work, whatever you need done, I'll do it. Like, you know, and I'm still doing this like 10 years later. Like you just can't be too big to take on any task.
I just have one last question. I just had the thought then. Your 2 agencies, obviously you started one early on, and we're just talking about business was a lot easier to start years ago, and then you started Mooning after. What was the difference with startups in those years? Like, was it harder to start? Can you remember?
Yeah, I think I was almost like at the start, I was so naive, like when I first started. So I think you just don't realize how stressful it's going to be. And you're like,
true.
this will be fun. Like, you know, how hard can this be? And then now the second time I was like, oh yeah, no, I know this is going to be hard.
Like we have to have this done.
That's
It's
it.
a bit more structured.
There's a bit more process to it, but it's also harder this time around because there's so many agencies. Like every man and his dog just has started an agency. So I think, and I say this to people, like, if you're going to try and start something now, you need to try and have some sort of clear USP. So for us, being the fact that we were in that more emerging technology, Web3, AI, that sort of has set us apart a little bit, which is good. And then I think having my personal brand the second time around definitely made it a bit easier to get it out there. And so I've been able, just by posting on LinkedIn, to just build myself up as a thought leader in that space without probably even intending to. So I think that's definitely helped, but it's still definitely hard. Like I wouldn't say that, I don't think business will ever be easy. And so I think on the days where I'm like, do I want to do this? Like I really do have to think, because it is, I can't even ever remember a time where I go, this is fun, this is great, there's no problems in the business.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I wish there was that time, and it hasn't happened yet, so I'm praying that eventually it does. But then I think when you have more money, you just have more problems.
Yep, I've heard that.
So I think it's, I don't know, but then I guess you just have to be okay with that. And if you enjoy it and you enjoy living in that sort of space where it is not ever going to be easy, then I think maybe business is right for you. But it isn't right for everyone. But outside of, say, I guess having a child, it has taught me more than anything else. You know, like it's taught me a lot about myself. It's I think back to the business or the founder that I was 10 years ago to now, I'm a completely different person. I'm so much more mentally stronger. Like you can throw shit at me, I was like, I'll take that. Like, you know, I will, you know, weather whatever storm comes my way, because I've been through
there.
so much. But the me at the start, I would have just like fallen in a heap. I've also worked out what I'm not good at, which I think is really important, and so I've surrounded myself with people who are really good at that. But then I've also worked out, hey, like I'm actually good at some things. Like I love selling, like you know, I love going out there and talking to people and seeing how we can help them with their problems. And I've realized like that's actually one of the few things that maybe in life, like I really am meant to do it. Like I get a real joy out of that. So I think, it will, if you want to do it and go down that path, like it's not easy, but it teaches you so much about yourself. And it's so rewarding, I think, when you I guess take the time to reflect and go, actually, you know what, I've grown a lot. You know? And I don't think I would have grown as much in a corporate job as no, I can with confidence say I would not have grown as much just in a corporate job over the past 10 years as I have being a founder.
Well, I hope you can reflect on this conversation and what we've spoken about and be like, I do feel successful now.
Oh, thank you. I think maybe I need to hire you guys as my therapist. I do feel good. I do actually feel a bit better.
We're just talking about it, like what we said. And
I think like, when you realize how much you've learned and how much you've been through, like I've been through like, you know, pandemic, like, you know, trying to keep a team together in that was crazy.
We've spoke about spirituality before. If we want to go down the spiritual route, do you want my advice?
Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, please.
I don't like giving unsolicited advice.
No, I'll take all the advice I can get.
It would be if you sat with yourself as a corporate tax lawyer, and then you sat with yourself as who you are now, the several businesses, the author, and have a conversation with that tax lawyer. I think she'll tell you how successful you are.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I think so. And it's funny because I always think back to that person and like she was not happy. Like, and even though this is harder, like, you know, and I think the journey the past 10 years have been harder than it would have been if I was been in corporate, like I would not have been happy. And that to me is worth more than
happiness
any
is
money.
So important.
Yeah, like, and I think that's something that does keep me going, because I can't imagine doing anything else. And I feel lucky that I found something that I really enjoy. So
I think a lot of people would be envious of that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like I wake up every morning and think, okay, this is fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's enjoyable. Like this doesn't feel like work.
Work,
Whereas
yeah.
when I was in corporate, I was like, oh
Ugh,
my God.
Monday
Like,
again.
I remember using up all of my sick days, like in
Yeah.
the first half of the year. I was like, yeah.
That's when you know you're not happy there.
Where
Yeah.
can people find your book?
So they can buy it online. So it's on places like Amazon, Readings, DMX. It's in stores as well, and independent bookstores as well. So there's actually this incredible independent bookstore called Amplify. It's near the Queen Vic Market if you're in Melbourne.
Okay.
And they stock only books by people of colour, which is
Oh,
incredible.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Whereabouts
so
is it?
it's right near Queen Vic Market. It's in West Melbourne. So
Is it
started
on
by
Queensbury Street?
two women.
No.
Yeah.
What's that street? Victoria Street.
What street is it called?
Queen Street that turns into Queensbury.
I think
Oh,
around
don't
there,
know.
yeah.
Because
So
I can visualize a bookstore, but I don't. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so
Great.
I'm gonna be doing like a little event with them, but I love that they've
Amazing.
created something
Yeah,
different, you
yeah.
know. And I think it's been hard for them because it is hard to actually find books by people of color. But like it's such a smart business idea,
It is.
and it's a good way to amplify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. to
Thank
Curious
you. I feel like we
Conversation.
could just keep going.
I know.
I know.
So
You said
I
that to
know.
me too. We're like,
We will still when this switches off. No doubt we will.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
Thank you
to
so
both of you for
much.
Yeah.
creating such an amazing resource and
thank
creating
you.
such a safe space to talk as well.
Yeah,
So I
thank
literally
you.
feel like this is therapy. It's
Yeah. It feels like therapy.
Thank you, Lise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Sarah.
Oh my goodness, that was great.